During your career, you've had a chance to work with some people who are noted for their knowledge of secondary, Nick Saban for one. Is there anything in particular you learned from Nick Saban, and is there anyone else that has maybe influenced you, how you approach handling a secondary?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Coach Saban's regarded as probably one of the best in the country at coaching that position. So just the little things, technique, footwork, eye control, recognizing formations, alignments of receivers, understanding the coverages and kind of what you're going to see against those coverages. It's just the little things, and if you can get those guys to figure it out, they kind of can anticipate what's going to happen out there.
Let's talk a little bit about the personnel. Let's talk about Daiquan first. Obviously, he wasn't even the starter at the beginning of last year, and now all of a sudden he's kind of the veteran. Do you see him providing leadership? I know he hasn't been in practice as much as you like, but maybe in the meeting room, et cetera?
Yeah, absolutely. Daquan's been a great leader. But even with Kyle Battle in the group, he's been a great leader and really helped the young guys out. Those two guys are great role models. Even you got Cam Bryant in the group, that's another senior. So we got some good senior leadership. Problem was Daiquan was out. Kyle was in there and Cam's been out, but getting those guys back is number one priority. And they've been great on the sidelines, getting guys ready to roll.
What does Daiquan bring to the table? I think we saw against Army that he can go get the ball. He has some ups. What are you seeing in that kid that you like?
Well, he's a very explosive player. There's always things to clean up, but he's gotten a lot better, getting his reads down, playing downhill in the run game last year, and then at the same time, he's got the ability to cover guys in the pass game. And then, as we saw, make plays in the pass game when the ball's up in the air and go up and get it.
Sean Williams is a guy who started at corner in the opener last year, so he could play either position clearly. You've decided to put him at safety. Why?
Well, I always like to have corners that can play safety because you get better cover guys for one. But Sean's just a smart kid. He gets in his playbook. He understands the defense. He takes extra time to sit in there with myself or Coach Pearson and go over scheme. Why we're doing this, why we're doing that, and he plays fast. And that's what we do here at Navy is we play fast, we play physical, and we're a high effort team.
What's happening behind Daiquan and Sean Williams in the safety area? I know you like to cross-train somebody, so I'm guessing you want to get a third guy ready that could play either of those positions. Who's kind of stepping up back there?
Well, Louie Gilman, who's a freshman from Naps. He's been taking a lot of reps back there. He's a young kid, but he's got a high football IQ, understands the defense, what we're trying to do, and then even Jerry Thompson showed up a little bit. So
an older guy.
Yeah, we got some guys back there, and then we're moving some guys around, seeing what they can do, either corners or safety. So, but again, like I said, the more athletes you can put back there in the secondary, the better off you're going to be.
Let's talk about corners. Elijah Mershon has missed a bit of time. I know he's back here today, but still in green. And then over on the other side, Wooten had started camp as atop the depth chart, but I don't see him out here much. Is he injured as well?
Yeah, both of those guys had a little muscle problems, but they'll be back in green or in white tomorrow. So we'll be back to our original starting group, and those guys will be taking all the reps. But even behind them at corner, we got some decent depth there. So we just got to come out and keep practicing. We still got a couple weeks for the first game, so there's a lot of competition going on out there. It's nothing set in stone yet. So guys keep coming out and showing what they can do. And, they may end up finding that starting spot by week.
Last year, you didn't, at the beginning of the season, you were not a starter. You moved in the lineup, and all of a sudden, you're like a veteran of this secondary. Can you talk about the responsibility to lead the group?
Yeah, it's definitely a hard transition at first. I struggled at first. Then I got my feet wet in the Notre Dame game. And I just settled into my own, really. I've always tried to embrace leadership. Even when I was a plebe, I've always tried to go above and beyond, do the right thing, set the example. I'm going to make mistakes, but as a man, I think I learn from my mistakes, try to help those guys be better in the future.
How much did you were like the hero of the Army-Navy game, batting down the last, intercepting the potential game-winning pass. Did you get a lot of, you hear a lot about that from fans or friends? I bet it was a new level of notoriety, huh?
Yeah, definitely. Welcome to the big stage, I would say. Well, Coach keeps me grounded. After the game, he's like, you made a lot of mistakes. I realized that, you can't live in the glory, we can't live in the dumps either.
Mm-hmm. What you have been out and you're back today, but has it been tough to try to lead the group when you're kind of over there doing one-on-one drills with the strength and conditioning coach? And it means a lot more to be out here and being able to show them, right?
Right, definitely. No, it's definitely tough. Tough dynamic because you're not out there with them. They get the mindset, well, he's not out here. How can I listen to him? you know, since the summer, I've been staying hard on the guys. I've been letting the young guys take a little bit of ownership of the group, and they've really stepped up in my absence. And now that I'm back, full circle, everything's clicking just perfectly.
Well, I was just talking to Coach O'Brien, and I think the theme of this secondary is young, inexperienced, but very talented. Do you see some really good parts back there?
Oh, exactly. Since I've been here the last 4 years, it's the most talented I've ever seen the group from top to bottom. And we got plebes out there taking second string with us. You know, since I've been here, I've never really seen it. Maybe besides one of our cornerbacks, but other than that, never really seen it.
So what do you got to do to get this group to start? You know, I mean, again, the experience is important until we see them in a game, executing what the coaches want, reacting the way they're supposed to. You know, how do you get these young and inexperienced guys who haven't really played in games much to start doing what they're supposed to do?
I think it first starts with effort. Once they start going 100% flying to the ball, they're going to start to see things. The game's going to slow down for them. And once they really learn our standard, Coach Nehemiah gets on us about it all the time. Once they learn our standard, flying to the ball, 11 hats to the ball, tackle the guy, get the ball out, then they can start learning about those other things. Once they get that down, they'll be fine.
So in talking to Coach O'Brien here, you mentioned a lot of names. There's a lot of competition going on here, isn't there?
Oh, absolutely is. It's good for the group, though. You know, I always say every day, compete with the man next to you, the man behind you, the man beside you, whatever. You're going to be better. Once you get better, you're going to help the team get better, and that's the end goal.
One thing we do know is that defensive backs are expected to play special teams, and there's going to be a lot of guys in this group, and you may be included, that have to contribute on special teams. Is that something you try to also instill in these guys? Hey, you may not be the number one guy at corner or safety or whatever, but you may need to run down on a kickoff or something of that nature.
Yeah, exactly. There's about 3 or 4 guys I talk to every day. You might not play in the game, but you're going to be on special teams. So give it everything you got. You come out here an individual. Even though you might not get reps in the game, you're going to get it on special teams. So give it all you got, everything play.
All right, thanks, Daiquan.